What we're seeing from Trump right now is both a cognitive and physical collapse, and he is well aware of it at this point, complaining that we can see his turkey neck or that his hair has somehow gotten worse, or freaking out about the fact that it's very obvious that there is pudding pouring out of his brain. Donald Trump can't complete a real sentence. He's constantly slurring, and his rants and rambles make less sense than ever, if that was even possible. And it's what we saw in the Oval Office today, and why Donald Trump's handlers had to jump in and try to save him, as he was unable to speak sentences that actually meant anything. And we're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into why Donald Trump's handlers had to step in, had to try to save him, had to try to boost his ego, I want to start with the nonsensical lie that he started this press briefing with, and it was about black women in MAGA hats in Chicago.
And the people of Chicago are walking around with MAGA hats. You have women, beautiful black women, walking around with MAGA hats. Please let the president in, and we don't care how he does it. They're not interested in National Guard or Army, Navy. Bring them in. Marines, bring in the Marines. They just want the crime to stop. And more so because of the success that we had in D.C. I think if we didn't have that success, nobody would even believe it.
I don't think Donald Trump has ever said anything that so didn't happen more than that. They love me. You notice how all the stories are always like, the people came up and they quietly said it, but they're coming up to us in secret behind closed doors and they think I'm fantastic. It reminds me when Don Jr. was like really podcasting, and every episode would open up with like people in the airport coming up to him or on the street and saying how wonderful he was. You hear this line a lot from MAGA. Nancy Mace does it as well. She's like, I was in this private setting, which you've never heard of, at a place that doesn't exist, but don't fact check me on this. And people came up and said that they just loved me so much because I'm so fantastic. But what's not so fantastic is the cuts that Donald Trump was bragging about. I'm sure he'll say, we all love those, but this one in particular has some extra sort of horrible meaning behind it.
They don't talk about this. You know, we're getting rid of programs that we didn't like, but that were negotiated in, but we didn't like. We're terminating those programs, and they're going to be terminated on a permanent basis. And it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars. We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted because of the fact that they made this stupid move. And then
so this is nothing new, but it's different this time with recent news out of Alaska. Donald Trump is saying that he's cutting the Democrat employees, the woke programs, but one of those supposed DEI programs was $20 million in Alaska, a grant